Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris, and on today's video we're going to see if niche fragrances are worth it or if they're not. So this topic took quite a bit of extensive research, and I think that if you ask any perfume lover if a niche brand is worth it, they're going to say yes, it's better than the designer counterparts. They're going to say that it's better than the mainstream fragrances out on the market. But is that absolutely true in today's market? Let's find out. When doing research, I was, kind of looking into a bunch of articles and looking into a bunch of things online, and almost every article, I should say, that I ran across did state that niche brands are better for a couple of reasons. One of those being niche brands actually produce in smaller quantities. And because of that, they're going to have a higher price to manufacture the actual product or the fragrance. In this case, they're also going to use raw ingredients, more expensive ingredients. And because they're manufacturing such small quantities of fragrances, then that means that they're going to have a higher price tag when it comes to the raw ingredients. Therefore, the price tag is a lot more expensive, but opening this can up of worms was a little eye-opening because are niche brands really even niche in today's market? Not really. For example, let's take Creed. Creed is a niche brand, a brand that has been around for a long time. They did start off as a niche brand, but with time progressing and the popularity of their fragrances, they have become a mainstream fragrance brand. What I mean by that is you can walk into almost any department store and find a Creed counter, which means that they are mass produced now. They're not produced in the way that they used to be. So they're not smaller quantities, they're not smaller batches that they're making these products into. And when it comes to manufacturing a fragrance, economics of scales is the most important thing here. So if you're making a fragrance and you're ordering 20 units, it's going to be more expensive to source the ingredients for that actual product. If you're going to order it for 2 million units, then it's going to be a lot less expensive per unit, meaning that these fragrances are no longer as expensive to manufacture as they once were. This was a big shock to me, I have to say, because I think we all kind of get it engraved into our brain that, for example, Creed, Amouage, Byredo, Le Labo are brands that manufacture in small quantities. They take the savoir-faire or the know-how of making perfumery, and they really use the best ingredients. And while the ingredients part may be still the truth, and that's why they do have a higher price point, that doesn't necessarily mean that it justifies the price point that they are marked at anymore, because it's not that expensive for them to source the ingredients anymore. Because of that, these fragrances shouldn't cost the price that they do, unfortunately. So I did a lot of research on the internet, and I kind of found out how much these brands pay per unit. Now, do take into consideration one thing. Price per unit of what the brand actually pays is what they pay to manufacture this product. That doesn't take into account when it comes to marketing, that doesn't take into account logistics or their stores or any counters that they may be at. The price tag doesn't really say, but it does let us know at least how much of a markup these brands do have, which you're going to be a little shocked by. So really quickly, just to give you some context, one of the top selling fragrances on today's market is Dior Sauvage by Christian Dior. This fragrance to manufacture, according to a bunch of sources, now this is just alleged, would be anywhere from $12 to $18 to manufacture. Now Dior does turn around and sell this product for $140, which is quite a bit of a markup. Now, Dior, for example, is a little bit different because they do take a lot of money into advertising, they do take a lot of money into promotions, and also creating that brand awareness that really creates the Dior allure. This is the same case for Chanel. Another top-selling fragrance by Chanel is Bleu de Chanel the Eau de Toilette. And that fragrance itself does cost anywhere, according to my sources, $15 to $20 to manufacture. They do turn around and sell it for $155. Again, big markup, but again, Chanel does take a lot of money when it comes to advertising, promotions, and that sort of thing. So because of that, it's not justified how much of a markup it is, but that does bite into their profit margins at the end of the day. Now, it's a little different for niche brands because they really don't pay a lot of money when it comes to advertising. They really don't need to because it's word of mouth how these brands have gotten so popular. So YouTubers, TikTokers, Instagram is their main source of getting their products to the consumer. But a lot of people, like myself, don't get paid for doing these advertisements for free for them. We just talk about a product, we like it, we share it with you guys smell it, you guys like it, and that's how that works. So these brands really don't pay a lot when it comes to advertising. So I have here Creed Aventus, which is a cult followed fragrance. A lot of people love it. I mean, I it's good. It's not my favorite, but I do know a lot of people on YouTube do love Creed Aventus. To manufacture Creed Aventus, according to my sources, it's anywhere from $25 to $35. So it's a little bit more expensive because even though they are manufacturing in high quantities now, it's not going to be the same output like Dior or Chanel or a L'Oreal brand like Yves Saint Laurent, for example. So it's a little bit more expensive. Yes, they do source better ingredients for their products as well, because they're obviously going to be a little bit higher market as well. But the price tag should say it all. They turn around and sell a Creed Aventus bottle for around 435 US dollars. So that is $400 of a markup from what they paid to manufacture this actual fragrance, allegedly. It's a lot of money. They don't pay as much in marketing as a Dior, a Chanel, Yves Saint Laurent, Giorgio Armani, Paco Rabanne would, but they do charge almost double the price of one of those fragrances, actually triple in the case of the Dior product here. So I don't know, what do you think of this? Do you think it's fair for them to say they're niche when really niche doesn't really exist anymore unless you're buying an indie brand? If you want niche quality and you want actual niche products, then I would certainly search for these smaller guys, these small brands, the ones that are indie, because those are actually niche. They have to source their ingredients, they have to manufacture in small quantities. Therefore, the price tag is a lot more expensive for them to do compared to a Creed, compared to a Bond Number 9, to a Byredo. These brands did have their roots in the niche market, but because they are so popular, because they're sold almost everywhere, at this point, they are mass produced. Yes, they still use great ingredients, but it's not as expensive to manufacture. Therefore, it really shouldn't reflect the same price tag. And I do get that brand is everything here, but at the same time, when you're paying $35 to manufacture your fragrance and you're charging $435, it's kind of a slap in the face to consumers, in my opinion, my humble opinion. So don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on this topic. Do you like these type of topics? Do you not? Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more fragrance related content. Until next time, you guys, take care.